Part A. A recipe serves 8 people and calls for 3 cups of flour. If you want to make the recipe for 14 people, about how many cups of flour should you use? So I'm going to highlight the number of people in gray. I'm going to highlight the number of cups of flour in blue. But in this problem, it's asking how many cups of flour should we use. So what we're going to do is highlight how many cups of flour, so then we can set up our proportion. So the first step in my proportion is I'm going to write 8 people over 3 cups of flour, because that's how many cups of flour I need. So that's my proportion that I'm going to go off of. Next, I'm going to put equals, because I want to know how many cups of flour it's going to take for 14 people. So next, I know that I have 14 people as part of my next proportion. I'm going to line up my 14 with my 8 because it's talking about the same thing, which is the number of people. And on the bottom, I'm going to put X in blue because I don't know how many cups of flour, so that's what we need to solve. So our next step is to cross multiply. So I'm going to circle an oval around the 14 and the 3 because they're diagonal from each other. And then I'm going to circle the 8 and the X because they're diagonal to each other. Then I'm going to set up my algebraic equation. So 8 times X is written as 8X equals 14 times 3, that's a bigger number, so I'm going to use my calculator. 14 times 3 is 42. So I'm going to write 4 equals 42 on the other side. So my next step is looking at this equation. I know that 8x equals 8 times x. So to get the x by itself, we need to divide by 8. But if I do it to one side, I have to do it to the other. So I'm going to cross it out and then put in my calculator 42 divided by 8 to get my answer. And the answer is x equals 5.25. So my answer to this question is I need 5.25 cups of flour if I want to make a recipe for 14 people. Next is B. A car can travel 476 miles on 14 gallons of gas. How many gallons of gas does this car need to travel 578 miles? Now if you want, you can pause before I read C so you can work on solving part B. C. Olivia bought 6 containers of yogurt for $7.68. How much would Olivia pay for 10 yogurts at the same rate? Again, you can pause right now so you can figure out part C before we move on to part D. D. A person who weighs 200 pounds on Earth would weigh about 32 pounds on the moon. Find the weight of a person on Earth who would weigh 15 pounds on the moon.